Hey everyone, it is Thursday night, May 1st, and I wanted to come on here and do this video. It's Thursday, I don't know, evening. I guess it feels like nighttime to me because I get up so early in the morning. And I wanted to read what I have here is called the Ark of the Covenant Codes, and anybody can just, when I first found this site by my house, so a lot of people that know me know that I didn't know a lot about the stuff that I talk about. What happened was I had this anointing in 2000, and then I had something else weird happened right after Jeff King died, and then at that same house I had this other anointing. That was when I was told that I had to be like Thoth, and I had to get the rod and the staff and activate it, and I had to go to Egypt. And at the time I was mad, and my video from like a year ago is on the YouTube, and it's like I'm like saying, I was mad because I'm like, how am I supposed to go to Egypt? Like, that's ridiculous. Like, I mean, that's just so out of my reach, financially, and then, when you have a business and all this different stuff. So it was pretty crazy. And then I just didn't even know, like, how do I go and what do I do? And then I was invited by the people, ultimately I was invited by the people from Ancient Aliens, and so the Christians. And so it's pretty crazy coming full circle that I am going to Egypt. And so and then I was kind of tripping out, and then on the way home, I was driving home, it was like, psh, the symbol just like flashed in my head. I saw it. It was this one. That's actually on the site. I wanted to show you. It's on the site. I have a printout of it, I think. Oh yeah, it's this thing, and it's on the road. So, anyways, I started to search like checkerboard spirals, red spirals. Then I realized it was the tree of life. And every time I went back, it was like I learned something new. And then we found a circle of trees, and that's how we were able to link it to Astrum Argentum, is when the moon is like over that circle of trees at a certain time, that gate is active for the moon, Andromeda, and Saturn. But I know it's like a Pleiadian gateway, so I don't understand exactly how that all works. I'm not an astrologist, so if you're an astrologist, you can clue me in. Because that's not necessarily the stuff that, I'm sure if I wanted to unlock that information, get to that, which I do, one day I will. But right now, and at this point, when I'm going over, it's just how I came to this web page where I found the Ark of the Covenant codes, and also it has some verbiage in it and stuff like that. So some of this is in the Mahabharata as well, and there's dance moves in there actually that are for unlocking the Indigo Grail line DNA. So I'm just gonna read it. It's called the Ark of the Covenant Code. So when I started to obviously research the spirals, and I found out Astrum Argentum, and then I started to count the 13 pillars, and we found the electrical hardware, and then we found out that it was so linked to Mary and John, all the streets around it are Mary and John, and Cain and Solomon, and the road on one end is son of Ben Maddox, which is son of the Mad Axe, which is the Mad Axe, the double axe, the Mother Goddess, and then the road on the other end of this giant keys, that they're keys. I've shown them in the, I have this one on the map, I'll break really quick and show you. It's really hard to see, but let me find it. Here, right here. So this is the key of Osiris. It goes like this. You'll also notice it on a lot of satellite dishes that have a Syrian symbol. And it goes up. Here's the Masonic Lodge, but you can't see it because they didn't buy a space, I guess. So it goes up this way and then over to, hold on, I'm going the wrong way. Sorry, up this way and over to the hospital. And that has the hexagram. And at the Mary Magdalene site, the Quay Oaks Reserve, this piece right here, and then it goes all the way down to the Briar Rose Trail and the Wild Rose Trail over here. And so this would be the part with the teepee and stuff, where you have that big cement slab like that. And then if you go over this way, it would be the Mary Magdalene Trail at the Quay Oaks Preserve. And this would be I'm sorry, I'm thinking here. Is it backwards? I don't want to do it backwards. This would be the piece, I believe, where the spirals are, where it's dirt. And then you go down the river, and then you find the two benches that are positioned the exact way as the post office, and then you have it goes out into the riverbank where there's that tree. And so it goes like that. So there are all these keys, and Jesus came with the keys to get us out of hell. Get it? Okay. So when I started to research all of that, of course, I found out within, I think, 2 days that it wasn't so much about the child sacrifice that was being done and stuff like that. It was more about like, okay, this is, somebody's using it, they're not supposed to use it, or it was set up. Because there's been some weird stuff with my husband and I, like us being followed. We have pictures, people taking pictures of us and stuff, crazy stuff. And it's like leaving church and at the fabric store, and someone tried to kidnap my daughter, and it's just like weird stuff. So, and then my dad just happened to pull up, weird stuff like that. And then just other people like coming in and trying to like help and then disappearing. And so you're like, that's kind of weird. So someone obviously is helping us, and people that come out of nowhere, and say that God spoke to them, told them whatever. So anyways, so here's the Ark of the Covenant code readings. I wanted to explain them. I did another reading, but people was like, I don't know if they don't know. They probably didn't want to listen. So it was like, okay, basically in the event of the interdimensional politics reaching like a boiling point, that the God source created a built-in override system called the Ark of the Covenant. And the override system is also known as the Ark Autopilot Emergency Override Mechanism. And it can prevent a portion of its related planetary systems that contain activated shield of the Ark codes to prevent black hole fall during a stellar activation cycle. And you'll see stellar activation cycle oftentimes in an acronym of SAC, an SAC. Okay, so this is the purpose of these techniques, to activate the shield of the Ark codes within our own and the planet's energy template. So it's like a group effort type of thing. In response to the activation of powerful anti-Christiac currents into our Earth and related universe, now let's talk about this. In the response to the activation of powerful anti-Christiac currents into the Earth. Okay, now what do I perceive this as? If you understand what's going on with Saturn right now, you understand that her energy is being super amplified by a device and then beamed onto this planet. And it causes a lot of conflict within, well, for one, in the current patriarchal structure, for sure. And then, two, it just, in everything, it causes chaos. And it needs to be overpowered by Jupiter, which is Yahweh, which is Jupiter, Job, Jehovah. So in Saturn, they call Satan or the Antichrist, or, there's lots of kind of stuff. But that's not really the problem. The problem with Saturn, the planet is not, how can a planet be evil? Okay, there's an energy coming from this, and it's being overly magnified. It's just out of balance, okay? So that's what I think, because they don't explain in this where these Antichrist currents came from, and from what I'm understanding is they're archonic energies that are actually like scheduled to arrive. So anyways, well, I'll just keep reading. The Ark Autopilot Emergency Override System was automatically upgraded to trigger what is called a Level 6 opening of the Ark of the Covenant. The Ark of the Covenant will now be transmitting frequencies from the level closest to the God source known as the Akasha universe. The energy life force current associated with this level of Ark opening is referred to as the double Akasha 13th pillar. Okay, the site by my house has 13 pillars that make up the Omega symbol that go around that electrical site, which obviously anybody with a brain can go there and be like, oh yeah, this is definitely like electrical equipment, Okay, so I'll just keep going. And this pillar began activating within Earth's shields on May 27, 2003. Because of these events, the Guardian Alliance introduced Earth Race to the Ark Asil release codes and the Cosmic Christ Ark of the Covenant codes. The 4 stands Ark codes were introduced on November 2002, so we would have the opportunity to activate them into our own and Earth's DNA templates. These codes enable activation during the transmission of the 13th pillar frequencies, and the Ark of the Covenant Golden Fleece Buffer Field, which is a highly specialized protection shield, and the Golden Fleece Buffer Zone is a protection zone, an impenetrable force field containing a mixture of frequencies from dimensions 8, 12, and 14 that correspond with the color spectrums of gold, pale silver, and pale yellow gold. Activation of the specialized, oh, by the way, all over that site, and I think all my pictures pretty much got ruined. Here's one of the This is from the St. John site. It says, it's going to say St. John's River right there. Oh, I don't think I have it. Darn it. It's in a different... it's going to take too long. Okay, so... Way to be prepared. Containing the mixture... Okay, activation of a specialized mathematical geometrical shield program. I'll just tell you really quick. I'll just break and tell you. That all the symbols there are all pale yellow. Definitely pale yellow. That's on the rocks, on the stones at the site. There's like stones just like Giza, and it's definitely pale yellow. Okay, so here's my YouTube ads. Okay, so program of the Ark of the Covenant, which is known as the Shield of the Ark, Scalar Shield Program, is required for a universe. A universe, galaxy, star, planet, or person to gain entry into the Ark of the Covenant Ark Zone. The Ark Zone is a halfway step in frequency, or halfway house, or how I say it's like out of phase, between the frequency bands of the Vecca universe, in which we currently find ourselves, and the Eka, the first level of the God worlds. The Shield of the Ark program exists as a set of specialized Kelon codes that are calibrated precisely to the Ark and passage. The specialized Kelon codes of the Ark collectively form a shield within a shield. It is called the Shield of the Ark. This creates a buffer field and the potential for safety and ascension for countless life forms which, because of the expedited rate at which events are unfolding, have activated their own DNA template to a sufficient level to ensure their own protection. Any human who consciously activates these Ark codes, or Shield of the Ark codes, in their DNA template contributes greatly to the creating a buffer field around Earth and all life forms on it. As part of the INDIGOS 22,326 BC mission, they were commissioned to collectively serve as a host matrix into the Ark of the Covenant Ark Zone. In the event of the Ark autopilot system was triggered into activation. The Ioni Indigo Collective, both within the Eka and Vecca universe, are thus collectively known as the host of the Ark of the Covenant. So all the Indigos out there, they're like, I'm Indigo, like all this stuff like that. Well, big freaking deal. Like, what now? What do you think now? What are you going to do? Yay, you're Indigo. You're just going to like, what are you going to do? You're going to start wearing blue and, you're going to start drawing pictures, Photoshop like rainbow auras around yourself, post them on Facebook, get some likes. Come on, or whatever you post them on these days. Seriously, though, this is what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be doing this, fully activating yourself. Okay. And I don't even have to go into that because there's like a million websites. There's a million things on YouTube. I told everybody 1,000 times you can go to this site, and if you are meant to be activated, it will activate you. You don't have to activate it. It will activate you. Okay, so keep on going. The host of the Ark of the Covenant, the collective Golden Fleece wave field, would serve as a temporary host matrix frequency platform. So basically when all these people activate and they tap into this Earth grid system, it's like a dome or a shield or a biosphere erects and protects the people within that ark. Okay, learn about Ma'at, the Queen of Spades. The moon is her ark. Shoot the moon in the in the game of spades, or the game of hearts, game of hearts. When you get the queen, she's worth 26 points, which is the number that they show you when it says Tree City, 26 years, but over here it says 30 years. Okay, so, and it might be like, maybe that's been a part of them for 26 years, and maybe that's been a part for 30 years, but in any case, the numbers are there, so I'm just pointing them out. So, now I'm losing my train of thought, because there's so much to talk about. Ma'at, the moon is her ark. When you shoot the moon on hearts, you have to get all the hearts. If you get her, she's worth 26 points, she'll kill you. She will kill you if you get her. But if you can get all of the hearts, which are worth 1 point each, no matter what suit it is, then you can shoot the moon, and everybody else gets penalized, and you win. Okay, so, and it's almost impossible to do, and I did it the very first time I ever played hearts, and it's very trippy. And of course, Revolution Radio, they're gonna tell me that it was my maybe Black Dahlia MK Ultra programming is why I'm good at card games. Oh my god. Okay, so anyways, Doesn't matter. So I'm going to keep going. Host and makeshift planet. Portions of the planetary shield suspended within the arc Portions of the planetary shields suspended within the arc zone hyperdimensional field would be held safely within a stable half-step frequency zone and time pulsation rhythm as the planetary shields rapidly climbed in frequency to double Akasha off flame body activation. Okay? Flame, that's the level of the Christ. Full Akasha flame body activation is the level of the Christ. Okay? That means if you're indigo, eventually you're supposed to graduate to the level of the Christ. Otherwise, you're just like everybody else, okay? Just doing the same thing over and over again. As long as the Ioni indigos of Earth activated the collective golden fleece host matrix frequency platform, at least 33% of Earth's shield could ride through the double Akasha activation within the safety of the Ark of the Covenant, which means that the Earth needs to go back into its proper position, and to do that, it's going to incur a lot of damage. And so basically parts of the Earth will be preserved during this time, and those are called the arcs. That's what they call them, because these areas are taken out of phase. So it's like destruction happens, and then suddenly they're there again. They go out of phase, and then they're there again. Everything. So it's something to think about. They have these Ark of the Covenant codes. One is Asur Yan. Number 2 is Ashayun, Ayan Yan Ye, and Yone Sa. Pretty much, I think that's pretty much it. Ayan Yun A. Ayan Yun A. And I'll just show you what those look like. This got left in my garage, and my roof leaked, so it got messed up. That's it. Okay, so that is, the purpose of the site by my house, and I did it, and it definitely did something to me. I mean, I definitely something crazy happened. So, and they use it for all kinds of different things, and I know when I first found out about it, I had been looking into human trafficking and the satanic occult, and so that's the first things that I found out about it. But it's not about that. It's about, us actually using it and going there. And I mean, you've got churches like baptizing people in pools and stuff like that when you have St. John the Baptist River right there. And it's only, has water in it at certain times of the year. And I don't even know if St. John the Baptist Day, which is June 24th, if that's one of the days. I hope it is. But in any case, they should really be baptizing people there, and I definitely want to baptize people there this summer. And I think I have we have 3 or 4 people that want to be baptized already. So we're like, yes, we're doing it. But that's I've shown before where you stand in my videos and stuff like that. So if you're from around here, you're gonna come through the area, just try it. I mean, if your heart is sincere in this movement or this age or whatever you want to call it, what's going on? I mean, it's kind of like happening at such a rate now where everybody's noticing our world is changing. And I told people a year ago, last summer, I told people, by this time next year, our world is going to be unrecognizable. Your life and what you think about right now is not going to be what you're thinking about in a year, because things are changing so fast. And right now we've got on the brink of war in Russia. There's all this false flag operations, like this Bundy Ranch thing that's going on that is a totally different story. And they've got birdie babies. I'll do a whole other video, man. Come on, you guys. You can't believe everything you hear or see on the internet. Even if you saw a video, they have documents. What documents? What documents? Documents anybody could print up? YouTube's the new television, okay? So, you can also say that dinosaurs exist because you saw them, and they were on Jurassic Park, and they really did look real, but they're not real, okay? I've been inside Stan Winston Studios. I got my tour of Stan Winston Studios by Stan Winston. And I tell you that once you get into Hollywood and you've seen what's going on and you see how fake everything is and how fake everyone really is, and you start to get to know enough people and stuff, it's pretty clear. That shit is fake, fake, fake. Reality TV. Okay, so that's pretty much it. I read these to you. And I wanted to go over them again because, there's a lot of information there. I think that people should just be doing this. I don't think that, I mean, a lot of people are like, learning the occult and reading a lot of books and trying to do rituals and all this weird stuff. But I mean, like, truth be told, Christians have been doing this for a long time. Christians have been doing this since Jesus was here, and they do it now, and a lot of times they don't know that they're doing it. They just don't know that they're doing it. It's the craziest thing to me because, okay, 2 years ago, we were sitting in church on a Sunday morning, and they had a conference somewhere up north in California, and they went to this conference. It was a bunch of people, and it was this lady, and because they had this girl come up and to, like, give her testimony. They had every line up that went to the thing, and, like, what did you get from the conference? And the lady was, and they really wanted this girl to, like, take her time and give her story. And it was a very touching story. She had been, raped by her, and, her stepfather had been having sex with her for years and years and years. And when she was in high school one time, he said to her, well, it's okay because we're not related. And she, like, accepted it. And this woman was prophesying over her. And she said that when she accepted that, she accepted the spirit of death. Well, we know what the spirit of death is. That's a Templar Axion death seal. Okay, so that's the chakras being, like, shut off. It shuts off your chakras, like, below your heart chakra. So she said that at that point that she had accepted the spirit of death upon her. And so when she looked at her, she said she was like a black thing on her, which is crazy because when I was praying and stuff, when I would see, like, black things on people, and I would pray and pull them off, and then sometimes I'd go back, they'd be back on certain people, and then that's when I started to put things together and what was really going on with, like, the Satanists in town and stuff like that. What were they really doing to these people and to my own family members? That's a different one. I'll get into that another time. But anyways, back to the main story here. So she said that she accepted the spirit of death, and this lady was like, there's this thing on you. She's like, I'm gonna pull it out. And she was like, okay. And so I guess, like, maybe they anointed her, they did something. I don't really know exactly what happened, but she was, like, reaching in. She was, like, pulling. And she was, like, pulling this thing. She's like, I almost got it. And she's pulling something, like, literally pulling, like, a blackness off of this girl's chakra system, off her seals. And I mean, I'm sitting here listening to this. Yeah, I don't know about chakras yet. I don't know about anything yet. I'm just listening to this. Watch and be not perceiving, hear, but yet do not understand. So, and that is, like, basically Isaiah 6:8. That's what this person who I am representing does. I just, like, basically have been, like, a spy, and I didn't even know that I was a spy. So here we go. So I'm listening to all this, and she's talking about. I'm just thinking, wow, and she said she always had, like, a hunch, and when the lady pulled it up, she felt it, like, go back, and she always was, like, hunched over, and then it fixed her back, even, like, she said her posture and everything. It was like it snapped her back up. She said it was like because there was something heavy on it. And she hasn't felt like that before, and she was really depressed. And of course, she had all these different problems that you would normally, probably if you're watching this channel, you have occult knowledge, you probably understand what happens when those chakras are shut down. So she was having all those problems, and I haven't seen her now, but I haven't seen her, like, lately. But she changed. Something happened to her that day, and so I was finding more about things that was going on, what my experiences, other people's experiences. And I was just thinking about that. I'm going, wow, I mean, Christians are already doing this. They're already beginning ascension processes, but, like, that lady that did that to her, she knows what she's doing. So it trips me out, like, that they do it, but they don't talk about it, but I don't know who will come along if they do talk about it, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of things are, like, kind of a little bit secretive right now because of the persecution. So, but, it tripped me out that the lady, did that to her, and that she's talking about it in front of the whole church, sharing this whole story with everybody about this black mark being, removed from her, and so it was just like, wow. And, Christians have been doing this, like, the guy that came from, I should write a song about, San Jose, and he came to me, and, at its church, and it's not my church, and I just happened to be visiting, and God had told him to go and go there because there was somebody there, and it was for this, whatever he was sealing people for, anointing people for, and it was definitely me. And he was asking me, did I know I had, like, a divine purpose, and it was this holy mission and all this crazy stuff. And I was like, I guess so. So, I'm trying to think of other people. What about Mark Conde from Savior's Church? He some people Slade Booker Lakes. This is a story. This is a story that came down to me. He told my cousin Mike. My cousin Mike told his son James. And James told me. It's my cousin. So he said that the lady from Church Broker League, and instead of calling the emergency room, they want to call a church pastor instead because they want to pray for it. I mean, I guess these people are like, boom, faith, like they're going to pray for it. We're not calling the hospital. And this is something that I've talked to people about not going to the witch doctors first. Now, I have family members that are doctors. I'm not saying that they're witches. I'm just saying there's just a choice involved. And so I talk about it, like not going to the witch doctor first, But anyways, so he was just like, I don't know what to do. Like, so he's in his truck before he goes in. He's like, God, I don't know what I'm supposed to do, but like, I can't do this. Like, you're gonna have to come with me, help me because I need help. Like, I don't know what people want from me. Her leg's broken. They need to go to the hospital. So he goes in, and then they start to go do like their pray thing. Something shuts him up. Okay, this is what they don't talk about it. People at Savior's, Savior's is gone now because it got taken over by Radiant because the takeover has begun. And basically they weren't talking about it a lot. It was like kind of hush-hush. They didn't want people to know about it. And somebody like put their, like he said it was just like stopped them from talking. So I wonder what they were going to say. They'd be like, oh, just don't talk. Just don't talk. And so like it felt like somebody was covering their mouths, stopping them from talking. And that happened to me when I was giving my thing. And then, but they felt it was like hands. And then it was like somebody picked her leg up and moved it over. And then it was fixed. Just like that. It's alchemy. So somebody was there, not visible to them, but able to do that too. This is not like a fake, made up story. Okay, this is real. This is not people that make this story up and tell me. I don't think they did. So, and after that, they just, I guess they weren't talking about it a lot, but they kind of were maybe a little bit tripped out that they weren't able to talk. I'm sure they can just think like Christians can explain away a lot of different things because there's so much mysticism in it. But they can. But I thought that was very interesting because I think I know why. And what else was it? Darn it, I don't remember. Oh, they took her to the emergency room because they wanted to take a look and see what it looked like. And they supposedly took her to the emergency room, and she did get an x-ray of her leg, or I don't know, maybe they went to the doctor's office, but I think that he said they took her to the emergency room, but maybe that's not quite right. Like I said, operator here. And that she had a bone scar, like as if her bones had been fused together. So it wasn't like it went back together like brand new. It was like it had been fused together. So that's pretty interesting. So there's a lot of weird stuff going on that a lot of people don't talk about. Let's talk about the Catholic Church. Oh, that's my next video. Okay, bye.